It started on a Tuesday night, or maybe Wednesday morning, to be precise. The exact time was 3:17 a.m. I was sound asleep, like any normal person on a weeknight. I live by myself in a quiet little house out in the suburbs of California. It's just the kind of place where you can hear crickets at night, and the biggest excitement is the mailman arriving. My routine is pretty set. Before I go to bed, I plug my phone in on the nightstand right next to me. It's always locked, always charging, same spot every single night. But that morning, something was different. I woke up, rolled over, and saw a notification on my screen. It said, "New photo taken." That was weird. I hadn't taken any photos. I don't sleepwalk, and I certainly don't take pictures in my sleep. Curiosity got the better of me, so I unlocked my phone and went straight to the gallery. My heart just about stopped. The photo was timestamped at 3:17 a.m. It was a picture of my bedroom, taken from the perspective of my nightstand, looking towards the foot of my bed, and standing there, shrouded in the darkness of the room, was a figure. It was tall, thin, and completely black, a silhouette with no discernible features. I just stared at it, my blood running cold. I live alone. There was no one else in the house. I checked every room, every closet, under the bed. The doors were locked, windows were shut, nothing. I tried to rationalize it. A glitch, a weird shadow from the moonlight, a prank app I forgot I downloaded, but nothing made sense. I spent the whole day feeling unnerved, looking over my shoulder. I chalked it up to a one-time freak event and tried to forget about it. That night, I went to bed feeling anxious. I made sure everything was locked up tight, maybe a little too tight. I put my phone in the exact same spot on the nightstand, locked and charging. I don't know why I did it. Maybe I wanted to prove to myself it was nothing. I eventually fell into a restless sleep, and when I woke up, the first thing I did was grab my phone. My hands were shaking, and there it was again. The same notification, new photo taken, timestamp 3:17 a.m. I hesitated for a long moment before opening the gallery. I wish I hadn't. It was another picture of my bedroom, same angle. But this time, the black figure wasn't at the foot of the bed. It was closer. It stood halfway up the side of the bed, right next to where my legs would have been. The sense of violation was overwhelming. This thing, whatever it was, had been in my room, feet from where I was sleeping. The rational explanations were gone. This wasn't a glitch. This was real. I felt like I was losing my mind. The fear was so intense it was physical. I felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't stay in the house, not for another second. I grabbed my keys, jumped in my car, and drove. I ended up at an all-night diner, just sitting there with a cup of coffee I couldn't drink, staring at the two photos on my phone until the sun came up. The next morning, I went to the police. I felt ridiculous trying to explain it. "Hi, officer. My phone is taking pictures of a ghost in my room." I could see the look on their faces. They were polite, professional, but skeptical. I showed them the photos. They agreed it was creepy, but what could they do? There was no sign of a break-in, no forced entry, no footprints, nothing was stolen. They sent a patrol car to my house. They did a walkthrough, looked around the property. They found nothing, absolutely nothing unusual. They took a report and told me to call if anything else happened, but it was clear they thought I was either mistaken or maybe a little unstable. I went home feeling completely defeated and more scared than ever. The police couldn't help me. Who could? I considered staying at a friend's place, but I felt this weird, morbid need to see it through. I had to know what was going on. I couldn't just run away from my own home. That third night I decided to try something different. I couldn't sleep in that bedroom anymore, so I made a plan to stay up in the living room. And I decided I wasn't going to leave my phone anywhere near me. I thought, maybe the phone is the problem. Maybe it's hacked. Maybe there's some kind of signal triggering it. So I left it in the kitchen, on the counter, as far away from the living room as I could get. I sat on my couch with all the lights on, a baseball bat next to me, just watching the clock. As the minutes ticked closer to 3 a.m., my heart was pounding out of my chest. 3:10, 3:15. I was holding my breath. 3:16. The house was dead silent. Then, the clock on the wall hit 3:17 a.m., and in that exact instant, I felt a vibration. In my hand, my blood turned to ice. I looked down. My phone, the one I had left on the kitchen counter, was in my hand. I have no memory of getting up, no memory of walking to the kitchen, no memory of picking it up. It was just there. The screen was on, displaying the camera app's live view. But it wasn't pointing at the living room ceiling. It was pointing down. The screen showed my face. My eyes were wide open in the dark, reflecting the phone's light. I was on the couch, just as I had been, but the camera angle was from above me, looking down. And in the reflection on the screen, just behind the phone, I could see it. That same black, featureless shape. It was leaning over me. Its head was right next to mine, as if it were looking over my shoulder, into the phone, as if we were taking a selfie together. I didn't scream. I couldn't. I just dropped the phone, and it clattered to the floor. The screen went black. I scrambled off the couch and backed into the corner of the room, staring at the empty space where it had been. I stayed there, trembling, until the sun came up and filled the room with light. I haven't slept in that house since. I packed a bag that morning and left. I don't know what that thing was. I don't know how my phone moved. I don't know what it wanted. All I know is that every night, I make sure my phone is in a different room, turned completely off, because I'm terrified that one day I'll wake up to another new photo, and this time, it won't just be leaning over me. Thank you for listening to my story. I know it sounds unbelievable, and honestly, some days I still have trouble believing it myself, but it happened. Has anything like this ever happened to you? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have a story you'd like to share, I'd love to hear it. Please be safe out there. Don't forget to like this video if it gave you chills, and subscribe for more stories from the dark side. Stay vigilant, and I'll see you in the next one.